You've been lied to your whole life. Most of us grew up believing that taking a bath every single day meant we were clean, disciplined, and taking care of our health. It's what our parents taught us, what society praised us for, and what we've passed on to the next generation. But what if I told you that after the age of 65, that same habit might quietly be doing more harm than good? I know that sounds unbelievable, but after more than 10 years of working closely with seniors, I've learned a truth that most people don't want to hear. The very act of daily bathing can become one of the most dangerous parts of a senior's routine. You see, after 65, our bodies no longer react the way they used to. Our skin is thinner, our blood pressure fluctuates more easily, and our ability to regulate body temperature becomes far less efficient. And when you combine all that with a hot bath, a slippery floor, and a vulnerable heart, the risk multiplies. One hot bath can do what 20 minutes of jogging does, but not in a good way. It can cause your blood vessels to dilate too quickly, drop your blood pressure, strain your heart, and leave you feeling dizzy or faint right there in your bathroom. And this isn't theory. I've seen it, time and time again. Older adults, thoughtful and careful, collapsing in the shower or developing skin conditions and infections simply because they followed what they thought was a healthy habit. The worst part? No one ever warned them. Doctors don't talk about it. Caregivers often don't know. And seniors just assume these warning signs, fatigue after bathing, itchy dry skin, feeling chilled, are just a natural part of aging. But they're not. They're preventable. And that's exactly why this video exists. Today, I'm going to walk you through 5 shocking truths about bathing after 65, truths that could save your comfort, your independence, and possibly even your life. And before we dive into the first and perhaps most misunderstood danger, I need to ask you something important. If you've ever felt unusually cold, dizzy, or exhausted after a bath or shower and brushed it off as just age, then I want you to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel for more essential tips on senior health, and leave a comment below saying that's me, because you're not alone. And the truth is, knowing what's really going on inside your body is the first step toward protecting it. This isn't about fear, it's about wisdom. Aging doesn't have to mean losing control. It just means doing things differently, more gently, more mindfully. So let's get started. Because once you understand what really happens to your heart the moment you step into a hot bath, you'll never look at your daily routine the same way again. Shocking truth number 1. Hot baths and your aging heart. One hot bath can do what 20 minutes of jogging does, but not in a good way. It might sound surprising, but physiologically, it's absolutely true. When an older adult steps into hot water, the body reacts instantly. Blood vessels dilate rapidly, blood pressure drops sharply, and the heart is forced to work harder to stabilize the system. For someone younger, this might cause nothing more than mild dizziness. But for someone over 65, especially if they have heart disease, high blood pressure, or take medications that affect circulation, this sudden shift can be dangerous, even deadly. As a healthcare professional with over 10 years of experience working closely with seniors, I've seen this unfold more times than I care to count. There was one gentleman, 90 years old, proud of his lifelong routine of daily hot baths. He once told me, "Doc, that's why I'm still strong." And perhaps it did keep him feeling well, until one cold January morning when his daily ritual turned into a crisis. He collapsed in the bathroom from a sudden heart event, and only survived because his daughter happened to stop by unexpectedly. That single moment changed his life. He never bathed alone again. What most people don't realize is that after age 65, the autonomic nervous system, responsible for regulating things like heart rate and body temperature, begins to slow down. This makes it harder for the body to adapt quickly to sudden changes, like stepping from hot water into cooler air. The result is a dangerous condition called orthostatic hypotension, a sudden drop in blood pressure that can lead to fainting, dizziness, falls, or even stroke. In fact, studies show that when seniors bathe in water hotter than 106 degrees Fahrenheit 41 degrees Celsius for over 15 minutes, cardiovascular stress increases by 20 to 30%, similar to the strain of a light jog. But unlike jogging, bathing happens in a small, slippery space, without rails or support. That's why I always tell my patients, don't stop bathing, just do it smarter. Keep your water temperature between 100 and 104 degrees Fahrenheit, 38 to 40 degrees Celsius. Limit your bath to no more than 10 minutes. Drink water before and after to stay hydrated. Use a shower chair, and if you're over 80, never bathe alone, let someone know or install a bathroom alert system. These small steps may feel inconvenient at first, but they could prevent a serious medical emergency. Your heart wasn't designed to handle the combined pressure of hot water and age-related vulnerability, not without help. This isn't about weakness, it's about wisdom. Every smart adjustment you make today can preserve your independence tomorrow. And while the risks to your heart are real, they're only part of the story. Because what many seniors chalk up to just aging skin might actually be the result of something they're doing every day in the bath. In the next section, we'll explore shocking truth number 2 and reveal how daily bathing habits can slowly strip your skin of its natural defenses and cause far more harm than good. Shocking truth number 2. Daily bathing can destroy aging skin. Here's the truth no one tells you. The cleaner you try to be in your 70s, the more damage you may be doing to your skin. Daily bathing, especially with hot water and harsh soaps, is one of the fastest ways to break down the protective barrier your skin needs most as you age. After 65, your skin stops producing the same amount of natural oils it did in your younger years. In fact, by this age, your sebaceous glands produce nearly 50% less oil than they did when you were 25. That means your skin becomes thinner, drier, and more prone to microscopic cracks that can easily turn into entry points for bacteria and infection. I'll never forget a 78-year-old woman named Mrs. H who came to see me complaining of unbearable itching that kept her awake night after night. Her skin was red, inflamed, and dry to the point of cracking. "I don't understand, doctor," she said. "I keep myself clean. I scrub every day from head to toe." And that, sadly, was the problem. Under the microscope, her skin showed micro tears, tiny invisible injuries caused by daily scrubbing and soap use. She wasn't dirty. She was overwashed, and her skin's natural defense system had been stripped away. We immediately adjusted her routine, reduced her baths to 3 times a week, limited soap use to essential areas only, and switched her to a pH-balanced, fragrance-free cleanser. We also added a good moisturizer with ceramides and hyaluronic acid, the kind that not only hydrates but actually rebuilds the skin's outer wall. Within weeks, her skin calmed, the itching faded, and most importantly, she was sleeping through the night again. You see, your skin is more than just a surface, it's your first line of defense. When that barrier is damaged, everything beneath becomes vulnerable. And dry, itchy skin isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. It leads to infections, open wounds, and for some seniors, hospitalization. But here's the good news. Restoring your skin's natural resilience is possible, and it starts with smarter habits. First, limit baths or showers to 2 or 3 times per week unless medically necessary. Second, avoid scrubbing your entire body with soap. Focus only on the armpits, groin, and feet, areas that truly need cleansing. The rest of your body? A rinse with warm water and a soft cloth is enough. Third, choose cleansers with a pH of 5.5 to 6.0. That's the sweet spot that preserves your skin's natural acidity and microbial balance. Harsh commercial soaps, many with pH levels of 9 or 10, can disrupt this balance and cause further irritation. Finally, moisturize within 3 minutes after bathing. This is what we call the golden window. Right after the bath, your skin is still damp and most receptive to hydration. Use creams with ceramides, which act like bricks in the wall of your skin, and hyaluronic acid, which draws moisture deep into the layers. Aging doesn't have to mean suffering with dry, fragile skin. It just means treating it with the care and gentleness it deserves. And when you make these changes, you don't just protect your body, you restore your comfort, your confidence, and your ability to live life without constant irritation. But the skin isn't the only thing that's at risk when bathing goes wrong. There's another hidden danger that steals independence from seniors every single day, and it happens in the same place, the bathroom. In the next section, we'll talk about the devastating consequences of falls while bathing, and how one wrong step can alter a senior's life forever. Shocking truth number 3, falls in the bathroom, the silent threat that steals independence. The bathroom is supposed to be a place of comfort, cleanliness, and relaxation. But for many older adults, it becomes something far more dangerous, a place where independence is lost in a single moment. Falls in the bathroom are not rare accidents. They are the #1 cause of injury among seniors, and too often, those injuries change everything. As someone who's worked with hundreds of older adults over the years, I've seen the aftermath of a fall more times than I'd like to remember. Broken hips, cracked ribs, head injuries, and even more heartbreaking, people who were once living independently forced to move into assisted living facilities, not because of illness, but because of a single slip. Let me tell you about a man named Mr. K, 88 years old. He lived alone, took care of himself, and had a spirit that inspired everyone around him. One morning, while stepping out of the bathtub, he lost his balance. There was no grab bar, no shower chair, just wet tile and a single towel for support. He fell hard. The hip fracture required surgery, and while the operation was technically a success, everything changed. He couldn't walk without assistance, couldn't climb stairs, and slowly lost the rhythm of life he'd spent years building. He once told me, "That fall didn't just break my hip, it broke my freedom." And he's not alone. According to research from Severance Hospital, the one-year mortality rate for seniors over 80 who suffer a hip fracture is around 25%. That means 1 in 4 may not survive a year after the injury, not because of the fall itself, but because of the physical and emotional toll it takes. The truth is, it's not just bad luck. There are 3 common reasons why falls in the bathroom are so frequent among older adults. First, slippery surfaces. Soap mixed with water leaves behind a nearly invisible film that turns your shower into a trap. Second, sudden blood pressure changes. When standing up from a hot bath, your body may experience a rapid drop in blood pressure, making you feel dizzy or weak. Third, age-related muscle loss and balance decline. As we age, reflexes slow and coordination fades. Combine that with poor lighting or a lack of support, and a fall becomes almost inevitable. But here's what gives me hope. Falls are highly preventable with the right strategies. Start by installing non-slip mats inside and outside the tub. Avoid loose rugs that bunch up or slide underfoot. Add sturdy grab bars near the bathtub and next to the toilet. These should be weight-bearing, not just towel holders. Use a shower chair to reduce the need to stand for long periods on wet surfaces. And most importantly, take your time. Stand up slowly after bathing. Let your body adjust. And if you ever feel lightheaded, sit down immediately and wait. There's no rush when your safety is at stake. If you're over 80 or live alone, consider using a waterproof emergency button in the bathroom or ask a family member to check in on you afterward. Your dignity is not in doing everything alone. It's in making wise choices that protect your life. And here's something I tell every patient. Pride doesn't catch you when you fall. Planning does. Don't wait for a fall to take away your independence. Prevent it before it happens. Because once you fall, the road back is long, uncertain, and, for many, permanent. But as dangerous as falls are, they're not the only silent threat in your bathroom. There's another risk that sneaks up on seniors, especially in colder months, and it often goes unnoticed until it becomes life-threatening. In the next section, we'll talk about temperature regulation after bathing and how a simple chill can spiral into something far worse: hypothermia in the elderly. Shocking truth number 4. Post-bath temperature drops. How a simple chill can turn into hypothermia. You just finished your bath. The water felt warm and relaxing. But minutes later, you're sitting on the edge of your bed, shivering, and you don't know why. What most people don't realize is that for older adults, a sudden drop in body temperature after bathing isn't just uncomfortable, it can be dangerous. And in some cases, it can become life-threatening. As we age, our bodies lose the ability to regulate temperature efficiently. The internal thermostat that once kept you warm even after a swim or a cold morning shower becomes less responsive over time. In fact, studies show that people over 80 have up to 40% reduced ability to adapt to temperature changes compared to younger adults. That's why older individuals are at much higher risk of hypothermia, even in seemingly mild conditions, like sitting in a slightly cool room after bathing. I remember a case from just last winter. A 92-year-old woman took her usual evening bath. The water was comfortably warm, and she felt fine stepping out, but she didn't dry off completely. Her bathroom was a bit drafty. She lingered in her towel before getting dressed. Within an hour, she began to feel confused, chilled to the bone, and weak. By the time she was brought to the emergency room, her body temperature had dropped to 94.1 degrees Fahrenheit, 34.5 degrees Celsius, a clear case of early hypothermia. Thankfully, she recovered, but it didn't have to happen. And it's not uncommon. Here's what's happening. After bathing, especially with hot water, moisture evaporates from the skin, and when it does, it pulls heat away from the body. The same way sweat cools you during exercise, damp skin can dangerously cool your body when you're not trying to lower your temperature. Combine that with wet hair, bare feet, or sitting in a cool room, and you're setting yourself up for a dangerous post-bath chill. But this is preventable, and you don't need to give up your evening bath. You just need to adjust your routine. First, always warm up the bathroom before you begin. Use a space heater or close the door early so the temperature stays consistent. This helps reduce the shock of stepping out of warm water into a cold environment. Second, the moment you finish bathing, dry off completely with a warm towel. Don't sit around in a damp towel. Don't wait to get dressed. Third, dress warmly right away. That means dry socks, long sleeves, and yes, dry your hair thoroughly, even if it's short. What hair can cause significant heat loss through the scalp. Fourth, consider drinking something warm afterward. Herbal tea, warm milk, or lemon water. A warm beverage helps stabilize your core body temperature from the inside out and gives you a comforting signal that it's time to wind down safely. And finally, time your bath during the warmest part of the day, ideally between 2 and 4 p.m. Avoid bathing in the early morning or late at night when ambient temperatures drop. These simple adjustments may sound small, but they make a world of difference. Because what feels like a little chill for a younger person can be a medical emergency for someone in their 70s or 80s. As I always say to my patients, your body isn't overreacting, it's adapting more slowly. Respect that. Aging with wisdom means preparing in advance for what your body no longer does as fast on its own. And if this surprises you, you're not alone. Many seniors never realize how temperature affects them after a bath until it's too late. But while hypothermia is dangerous, there's another invisible risk that comes from trying to be too clean, one that attacks your body's natural defenses not from the outside, but from within. In the next section, we'll explore shocking truth number 5 and uncover how over-cleansing and being too clean can actually weaken your skin's immune system, making you more vulnerable to infections and illness. Shocking truth number 5, over-cleansing, how being too clean can damage your skin's immune system. Cleanliness is essential, but when taken too far, it can quietly sabotage your skin's ability to protect you. Most people think that the cleaner they are, the healthier they'll be. But after age 65, that belief can backfire. Because your skin isn't just a surface you wash, it's a living ecosystem, one that houses millions of beneficial bacteria that act as your body's first defense against outside threats. This delicate balance is known as the skin microbiome, and when it's disrupted, your skin becomes vulnerable in ways you may not see, until it's too late. Let me explain. I once treated an 83-year-old woman who came to my clinic with recurring skin infections, chronic itching, and inflammation that just wouldn't go away. She told me, "Doctor, I'm just a very clean person. I shower every day, sometimes twice, and I use antibacterial soap to make sure I'm doing it right." Her intentions were good, but her skin? It was in crisis. Under the microscope, we found microscopic cracks in her epidermis, a depleted moisture barrier, and signs of inflammation caused by a disrupted microbiome. Her efforts to stay extra clean had scrubbed away not just dirt, but her skin's own immune system. You see, frequent bathing, especially with hot water and harsh soaps, doesn't just remove surface-level bacteria. It removes everything, including the healthy microbes your body relies on to fight infection, reduce inflammation, and maintain balance. And as we get older, the skin's ability to regenerate and repopulate those healthy bacteria slows down significantly. Younger skin can bounce back quickly. Older skin? Not so much. That means every time you scrub, you're not just cleaning. You might be creating an open invitation for bad bacteria to move in. But there's more. When your skin's natural oils are stripped away, not only do you lose hydration, you also weaken the protective lipid layer that guards your skin from irritants and allergens. Add winter air, indoor heaters, or dry climates into the mix, and you've got the perfect storm for cracked, itchy, infected skin. So how can you stay clean without hurting yourself? First, bathe less frequently. 2 to 3 times a week is more than enough for most seniors. In between, use a warm, damp cloth to freshen key areas like the underarms, groin, feet, and face. Second, stop using antibacterial body washes unless directed by your doctor. These products don't discriminate. They kill both good and bad bacteria, and they're simply too harsh for aging skin. Third, switch to mild, pH-balanced cleansers with a pH around 5.5 to 6.0, which matches the natural acidity of your skin and supports a healthy microbiome. Fourth, don't overwash your entire body. Soap should be used only where truly necessary. Your arms, legs, back, and chest rarely need aggressive scrubbing. Gentle rinsing is enough. Finally, invest in a good moisturizer that not only hydrates, but also helps rebuild your skin's barrier. Look for ingredients like ceramides and hyaluronic acid. They don't just sit on the skin, they work with it to restore what's been lost. And one more tip that often goes overlooked: maintain your indoor humidity. Dry air sucks moisture from your skin, weakens your barrier, and disrupts the microbiome. A simple humidifier, especially during winter, can be one of the best skin investments you'll ever make. What I've learned over the years is this: being healthy isn't about being obsessively clean. It's about being wisely clean. It's about understanding that your skin has its own intelligence, and sometimes, the best thing you can do is get out of its way. So now that we've uncovered the hidden dangers of being too clean, you may be asking yourself, where do I go from here? What do I do differently? In the final part of this video, we'll bring it all together. I'll share the key lessons you need to remember, the smart habits that will keep you safe, and how making just a few small changes today could give you freedom, comfort, and independence for years to come. By now, you've seen the truth behind something most people never question: bathing. It's a simple daily ritual we've been taught to trust, a sign of dignity, hygiene, and self-respect. But after the age of 65, this very habit can quietly become a threat to your heart, your skin, your balance, your immunity, and ultimately, your independence. The goal isn't to make you afraid of water or ashamed of your routines. The goal is to help you see your body through a wiser lens. Because the truth is, your body changes as you age, and what worked for you at 40 may no longer serve you at 70. That's not failure. That's biology, and it deserves your attention, not your denial. We've covered 5 critical truths that too many seniors are never told: how hot baths can cause dangerous blood pressure drops, how daily scrubbing weakens fragile skin, how bathroom falls can take away years of independence, how post-bath chills can lead to hypothermia, and how being too clean can destroy the natural immune shield that lives right on your skin. These aren't just facts. They're experiences I've witnessed firsthand in over a decade of working with older adults. I've sat beside too many patients who said, "I wish someone had told me this earlier," and I've seen the regret in the eyes of families who thought their loved ones were doing everything right. That's why I made this video. Not to scare you, but to empower you with knowledge, to give you the wisdom to care for yourself in a new season of life. Because aging doesn't mean helplessness. It means making smarter choices based on what your body needs now, not what it used to need years ago. So if anything in this video resonated with you, if you've ever felt dizzy after a hot shower, if you've battled dry, irritated skin, or if you've worried about slipping in the bathroom but didn't know what to do, then please don't keep it to yourself. Take a moment to scroll down and share your experience in the comments. Your story might help someone else realize that what they're going through isn't just getting older, it's something they can change. And if this video opened your eyes, if you learned something that made you feel safer or more confident in your daily routine, please click the like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the bell icon so you'll be notified when we release more content that truly matters to your health and quality of life. Here, we're building a community, one where growing older means growing stronger, more aware, and more independent than ever. You've spent decades taking care of others. Now, it's time to take care of yourself with the same kindness, patience, and intention. Don't just follow the same habits because they're familiar. Question them, adapt them, replace them with smarter, gentler, more age-appropriate routines. So the next time you walk into the bathroom, ask yourself not just, "Am I clean?" but "Am I safe?" Because real self-care isn't about doing things the way you always have. It's about doing them in a way that keeps you strong, steady, and standing proud. Thank you for watching, thank you for caring, and thank you for choosing to age with wisdom, not worry. Until next time, stay safe, stay warm, and never underestimate the power of simple habits done the right way.